Good morning. Welcome to My Left Ear. This is Carrie Freeman and video 103. We're moving. My YouTube channel is left-leaning political material and some psychic commentary. It's called My Left Ear because I get intuitive messages and they come in through the left side, which is very interesting, but they do. And what I do privately is privately, when I'm not doing this or Patreon. I am an author. I'm working on another book right now. And I'm a coach. And I do therapeutic hypnosis. So I help people. And what I do is called psychic coaching. And there are videos about therapeutic hypnosis, psychic coaching that I made to explain it. And they are below. They're below in the description, and you can watch them. They're not long. I just wanted to share with people like what I can offer, what are my services, and then you can email me. I'm giving some slight discounts right now. All right. But I call myself a change agent because that's what I help people with, change. This is for entertainment purposes only. I always have to remember to say that. And look at, we just had another horrific tragedy in Highland Park, Illinois, and I'm going to address that, but I'm not addressing it first, okay? So I want you to know that. Well, let's talk about the January 6th committee that are kind of brilliant. There are more witnesses coming forward since Cassidy Hutchinson. She evidently inspired people, and they're volunteering. Now, the next hearing is going to be July 12th. You can check it out, but that's what I read this morning, July 12th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. Now, in addition, the White House counsel that was very present during the coup and prior to the coup, very much a Republican, Cipollone, he's going to testify. He's going to testify, but what it looks like right now, he's not going to testify in public. And he might have a few extra privileges because he was White House counsel, but it doesn't matter. We just need it. Now, okay, maybe take that back. Maybe it matters a little bit because to hear him saying it is kind of to hear him and see him say it, the material is a little bit more empowering, but he's not fighting it. My left ear does not think he'll evade or lie, because my feeling is that he's a very serious attorney and he takes his work seriously. I mean, he is the one who said to Cassidy, you can't let the president go down to the Capitol. We will get hit with every possible criminal charge. So that's the guy who said that. All right. Now, I want to talk about Georgia. And I want to remind everybody that My Left Ear talked about Georgia months ago. And I predicted that Georgia would be the first to indict or to hold Trump accountable, blah, blah, blah. The attorney general there, or the district attorney, I'm not sure what they call Fannie Willis, but she's in charge. So they're putting together the special grand jury, and they sent out subpoenas, people. It is serious. Georgia, it's not federal, but we're moving. There's progress. So I want to talk about the subpoenas issued in the case for Trump for voter intimidation, voting fraud. Rudy Giuliani got a subpoena. Now, it's very simple with Rudy. He's either going to tell the truth or he's going to perjure himself and get into more trouble. He's boxed in. And I have questions about Rudy's neurological condition because I have every indication that he's probably an alcoholic, and then that will affect him neurologically. So we will see, but he's got to show. They all have to show. See, this isn't a subpoena from Congress where they can kind of, sort of get away. Not with a subpoena from Georgia from Fani Willis. All right, so the thing that's most interesting, and I think I'm going to come to him last, John Eastman is subpoenaed. He's the one who wrote the 7-point coup plot, the crazy attorney who's in a load of trouble. A man named Kenneth Chesbrough, and I don't know him. He is a Republican and he's an appellate attorney, so he must go something. Then this woman named Jenna Ellis, she's a Trump teen lawyer. And just as an interesting point, she self-published The Legal Basis for a Moral Constitution. She self-published, and it's a book arguing that the Constitution of the United States can only be interpreted in accordance with the Bible. Now that tells you a lot, doesn't it? And I have nothing against the Bible. She has no experience in constitutional law, but she's pretending that she does. Then a woman named, boy, I'm going to probably mess up this name because it is challenging. Cleta, C-L-E-T-A, B, Detheridge Mitchell. What a name. An American lawyer, politician, conservative activist. And after Joe Biden won the 2020 presidential election, Cleta Mitchell aided Donald Trump in his efforts to overturn the election results and pressured the election officials to find sufficient votes for him to win. All right. Then another woman with another, like odd name, very Jackie Pick Deason. Jackie Pick Deason. So she's the 7th subpoena, and she's a Texas podcaster, a member of the Federalist Society, who supported Trump's efforts to change the outcome of the election. Now, I'm going to go back to the most exciting subpoena, which is Lindsey Graham. And I'm going to share some amazing facts with you. Out of 1,994 senators, this is from the past up to the present, less than 1% have ever faced legal trouble. Over 99% have never faced ethics violations. So Lindsey Graham is the first U.S. senator to be served with a subpoena. Wahoo! What a winner. Go Lindsey. All that fealty to Trump. This is where it's gotten you. So the subpoena suggests a multi-state coordination was operating to influence Georgia and elsewhere. Rudy called to re-examine ballots in Florida, probably Arizona. We will find out. I mean, he was all over the map doing crimey things. Rudy has a very sad future. The special grand jury cannot indict, but it can sit longer, as long as it takes. Okay, now, I've mentioned that I like a podcaster named Tom Joseph. I connect with him on Twitter and I follow his podcast. I think he's really smart and intuitive. And he wrote on Twitter this morning, I just want to share it with you. Lindsey Graham has to testify before the Fulton County grand jury, special grand jury. The others may try to stall with attorney-client privilege arguments, but that won't work either. Graham will be forced to tell the truth, which will make the others panic, including Trump. So, I mean, stay tuned with this one. Now, this is state, and so we'll be looking at what federal offenses, what subpoenas go out, hopefully, in the near future, go out on federal offenses. But this is the beginning. And leave it to a woman, Fani Willis. Go, Fani Willis. I so respect you. Now, regarding the question of whether to indict Trump for conspiracy to overturn the election, etc., etc., I watched Claire McCaskill. My God, I love Claire McCaskill. I'd love to go to her house for Thanksgiving. She's just so smart and homey, and I love her kitchen. Anyway, Claire McCaskill, MSNBC, thinks that it will be worse for the United States if the DOJ does not indict Trump. And I believe we're at that point. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to the Highland Park shooting tragedy. It happened in Chicago, and it happened in a suburb that I know very, very well, that I visited many times because I've always been, even since a little girl, fascinated with architecture and beautiful homes. And I must say, there are parts of Chicago that have the most beautiful homes. Not like, modern, angly, like real great architecture, and it's rich. So, Highland Park. Now, Highland Park is largely a Jewish community, not exclusively, but it's largely. And it's a bit high end. I posted a beautiful photo of a home in Highland Park on my community page because I wanted people just to see a little bit what it looks like. Now, not all the homes are that incredible, okay? It's not giant mansions there. It's large homes. They're just beautiful. So this kid, this young man, Robert Crimo, 22 years old, he pre-planned the attack. The rifle was purchased legally in Illinois by Crimo. And sit down, hold your breath. Crimo's father signed off on the permit for the gun. And his father did this after his son threatened to kill the family, threatened to kill himself. I don't know about this father, but Crimo, dressed as a woman, in woman's clothing during the attack, so he would go under the, radar. He fired more than 70 rounds, and then he took off the clothing and he walked to his mother's home after the attack, and then he took his mother's vehicle. There are 7 people dead, and the most horrendous part of this is a little tiny toddler lost both his mother and his father. And they found this little baby roaming around. So the grandparents are going to raise the little baby. And there is a GoFundMe. And I just don't have words for it, okay? And I'm sure you don't too. All right. Now, moving on from that, because they have already started charging him. And the father, I didn't see this was not live, but I saw something written that the father had no idea. Really? Really, sir? Now, my left ear thinks that father is going to be sued. I don't know if you remember, there was a kid in the Midwest whose parents gave him rifles, and then he went on the spree, and now the parents are being held as partly responsible. I think that's going to happen with the Crimea Kid. All right, we're going to talk about the Democrats for a minute, because for a long time now, I keep seeing the Democrats maintaining the lead in both Congress and the Senate. And I believe that we are going to add at least 2 Democrats to the Senate, which is sorely needed to start making changes, to start seeing if we can codify Roe v. Wade, and if we can kind of somehow override the Supreme Court with guns. I don't know exactly what a Democratic Senate can pull off, but you got to know they're going to go to town. And that would be Congress too. So I do want to say that. Now, one of the reasons I'm saying it is not just my left ear, but that with Trump has branded himself with the election was stolen, and he's still on it. Nothing. Others agree with me, Glenn Kirshner, other people agree with me, that he could be on his deathbed he could be facing jail for the rest of his life, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. But he will hold on to this life. So that's his brand. But the brand is shattering due to the committee. Now, it's not 100% because we know there are loyalists that will not listen to anything. And that's just a fact, all right? But it's shattering his brand. And it's putting GOP candidates at complete odds. Now they're just hanging out to dry because his unpopularity is growing, his criminess is growing, and we have the January 6th committee to thank for that. This is partly the reason that I really think the Senates are going to maintain or increase seats. One thing, I don't know if I mentioned it, but Jim Jordan, Ohio State wrestling sexual scandal, Jim Jordan has now been implicated in the coup. So there are a number of Congress people that may lose their seat. And there's opportunities here. This is what I'm telling you. We just don't know what the DOJ is going to do, because as it gets closer to the midterms, the DOJ seems to have a position of, we don't do this near the midterms. The DOJ is MIA. The DOJ is MIA. Don't know what to say, folks. My runes keep telling me he's going to show up, but it certainly doesn't seem timely, does it? So, as I said, the Republicans are weakened by the testimony. Indictments could further weaken the GOP midterms. And fingers crossed. That's my left ear, by the way. Now, here's really good news. Senator Raphael Warnock from Georgia is 10% ahead of Herschel Walker in Georgia. It's going to happen. Warnock is going to be fine. He's going to win. This was really upsetting me because Herschel Walker is, he's not okay. All right? I'm just telling you, he's not okay. He has brain damage, people. But this is for entertainment purposes only, so don't want to get in trouble. All right? That's the world according to my left ear. Then John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. This is just fabulous. He's polling at 62.5. That's high. And Oz is polling at 37.5. Fetterman's doing really good. And Dr. Oz, I don't know, maybe he'll go back to Jersey and write a book and live in his mansion. The gubernatorial race in Florida with DeSantis is super close. DeSantis has a lot of, how do I put it? Situations in place that will help him overthrow the election should Charlie Crist win. Charlie Crist is doing pretty good. I mean, they're like 1%. Charlie can gain here, but DeSantis has it. You know, he's very much like Trump, kind of better educated, but he's really got some Hitler DNA in him. I can't get over it. It's how I feel. So he's got plans to fight if Crist wins. We got to keep an eye on that. And sadly, right now, Val Demings, Democratic senator, is, Val is not a senator. Sorry. She's running for Senate against Marco Rubio, and he's way ahead of her. I don't get the people in Florida. Marco Rubio quotes the Bible. He doesn't fight for anything, and he doesn't get anything done, and half the time he doesn't show up in the Senate for meetings. I mean, he's really a slacker. Val Demings is so wonderful, so we'll have to see about that. All right. No runes today. By the way, I'm doing a Patreon video in a little while, and it'll be posted later on Patreon. And I'm going to go over the rune called Defense. It's very interesting. And I'm going to do some celebrity stories. I have one about last July 4th with Steve Carell of The Office, of many, many movies, 40-Year-Old Virgin, it goes on and on, Steve Carell. And I'll tell that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. People really like these stories, and I like telling them. So we'll go from there, and maybe there'll be a little bit more on the Patreon, but thank you. It'll be up later. Now, quotes. I looked up justice. I got some really good quotes, people. All right. So this is from Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a black social reformer. He escaped slavery from Maryland at one point, and he wrote many anti-slavery articles, etc. He said, where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe. It's an extraordinary quote because it's from such a long time ago. But as somebody said, everything old is new again, and history repeats itself. And this is why I like cliches, because they're actually true. They're corny, but they're true. History does repeat itself. Now the next one, and I'm gonna mess up this name, but I'm gonna do my best. It's French. Montesquieu. That's the best I can do. Montesquieu, French philosopher and judge, born in 1689. And he said, there is no greater tyranny than that which is perpetrated under the shield of the law and in the name of justice. And then the Dalai Lama's birthday is today. He was born in 1935. And I'll leave you with this. He said, love is the absence of judgment. My religion is very simple. My religion is kindness. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others. So that's the beautiful Dalai Lama. And one thing I love about the Dalai Lama is that he has a great sense of humor. And if you watch him, see him, listen to him, he's always laughing. He's very cheerful. He just is a joy. And I heard him once say, because I do mindful meditation. And mindful meditation is not listening to an app. It is following the, oh, my air conditioning went on. I apologize. I hope you can hear me. I'm so sorry. It was very hot in here this morning, so I'll talk loud. I apologize for that, people. I have to get up and turn it off. Well, you know what? I'm going to get up and turn it off. I'm going to get up and turn it off. I actually had to put Petey in the bedroom this morning because all he wanted to do was play. And I knew that while I was talking, he was going to jump up here and he was going to walk across the computer and make noise, and everybody would love it, except me. Now, what the hell was I going to say? I literally forgot. Oh, yeah, mindful meditation. Mindful meditation is breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And you follow your breath. And when your mind wanders, which it always does, you just nudge it back to the breathing, the inhale and the exhale. And what that does is it trains the brain for your waking hours. When you get upset, when you're impatient, When you're impulsive, it knows how to bring it back. And that's the gift of mindful meditation. I actually have a 8-minute recording, which helps people with it. So anyway, look for my Patreon people who write me. Look for my Patreon later on. And for now, I'll be back on Friday, I believe. And I say, make peace, make good memories, and make kindness out there. Kindness in the streets, okay? I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Hold the faith. And we'll keep on going. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.